Hey, beautiful people, how is everybody doing? Today, I want to talk about crafting your marketing message. What is that message that you're getting out there that is attracting your ideal client, that is hooking them, and that is actually converting people into paying clients? I want to talk about that because that is one of the most important things when you do Facebook ads, when you create your funnels. And I was talking to a friend the other day, and we were talking, he's a funnel designer too, and we were talking about the importance of the design in your funnel. And yeah, that's absolutely important, but then your messaging is what makes it really convert. I've seen ugly funnels that convert really well, and that's because their messaging is so on point that who cares about the design? Don't get me wrong, I'm a funnel designer and I love building beautiful funnels, but if I have to put it in a balance, the messaging is way more important. But you need to do both. All right, so let's dive into crafting your marketing message so that your marketing really converts and really becomes profitable. If your marketing is not profitable right now, it might be because you have a problem with your messaging. All right, so what is the messaging? The messaging is how you communicate with your audience, right? The words you use, the headline, the way that you talk to them, that is your messaging. So how do we craft a perfect, amazing, super high converting messaging? Okay, so there's three parts to it. Number one, your hook. All right, so remember that the attention span of people right now is like 3 seconds. All right, so when they go to your sales page, when they see your Facebook ads, when they see your social media posts, you have 3 seconds to grab people and convince them that they should read the rest of your post, that they should go through your sales page. If you cannot grab people's attention with just that hook, you're not going to make them read the small print. That's what I tell my clients every day. We need to work on that headline more than anything in the sales page, because if that headline is not grabbing people's attention, nobody is going to read the rest of your sales page. All right, so the hook, it needs to be short, it needs to be super sexy, it needs to be bold, and it needs to have a shocking statement. All right, something I know that a lot of people like to play safe when it comes to the copy, but the more shocking, the more polarizing you are with your messaging, the more you will attract people. And most importantly, you have your pain points, the audience's pain points, and their greatest desires. So if in that hook, you're able to engage emotionally with your audience by displaying their greatest pain points and their greatest desires, saying something like, hey, I know that you have this pain point and I can show you how to get to your greatest desire. That's how you hook them. All right, so for example, I'm going to give you a real example for one of our clients that they have been struggling a lot with the copy, right? So they launched a while ago, and for months and months, they kept driving traffic to the funnel and nothing was converting, nothing, no conversions whatsoever. So what we did was we reevaluated the entire marketing messaging on the funnel and on the ads. And it went from talking about the process of what they do, and instead we managed to build that hook so well and concentrate on the outcome of what they're getting. So I'm going to read it to you. It's really bold, it's really polarizing, and when you are their ideal client, these hook will tell you like, oh my God, yes, I need this right now. So their headline on their page goes something like, it is time to reinvent your co-parenting relationship before your kids are permanently damaged. Like, what? My kids are going to be permanently damaged? That right there, just that one sentence is so polarizing, so bold, that it attracts the ideal client and it just makes them go through the entire sales page and buy. We went from having 0% conversion rate and maybe like 0.9, and we tested so many headlines. We tested a lot of different hooks, and at some point we had conversion rates for sales on a $97 product for 1%, which is, it's low. For sales conversions, you want something between 2 or above 2, something between 2 and 5%. Well, with these new hook, we're getting conversions of 6% and more, just because we were able to test that headline and come up with a hook that really attracts our ideal client and really connects emotionally with them, right? So think about, what is your hook? And you can have different hooks and test it. Do different hooks for your social media posts and see what people react best to. And that's how you are going to know how to move forward in your messaging with your sales page and all of those things. All right. Now, the second thing that I want you to take into account when you're talking about your messaging is your story. So we already did the hook. Now we're going to go into your story. Okay. When you are able to tell a story to relate to your audience and really make them feel like you understand them, that's how you're going to sell like crazy. So I wanted to tell you a little story that happened to me a few years ago. So it was my first time doing a webinar, and I really put all of my effort into building the presentation. I followed Steve Larson's strategy, I followed Russell Brunson's strategy, and I really went into my story of how I was a mechanical engineer and I was so bored at my job. And then I got married, I moved to London, and I tell them the story of how I struggled for so long to build my online business and how I was living out of my credit cards and building all of these credit. And then I actually figured it out and I started traveling the world. So when I went to do my presentation, it was my first live presentation ever. I was so nervous, and I told my husband, you know what? I'm pretty sure I'm not going to sell anything. I'm just going to do this for fun. I'm just going to go live and just tell my story, do my webinar, but I'm not going to get anything out of it. And I went live. It was a live, like a real on-stage presentation. And when I started going through my story of how I quit my job because I was so bored and I hated my job, that wasn't fulfilling my dreams, and then I moved to London, and then I struggled, and then I started traveling the world, and I started showing them every detail of my story. It was so cool to see everybody in the audience going like, oh my God, and they kept saying like, yes. And even before I started pitching my product, they were already like, shut up and take my money. And I realized that my story was so powerful that the selling was so easy. That presentation, I closed 50% of the room. That is unheard of. And it was all because of that story that I was able to relate with my audience. I was able to tell them, hey, I am where you are right now, and I want to take you to this side of life where your greatest desires and your greatest dreams are possible. And I showed them that it was possible with my story. So once you hook them, right? That's how, with your hook is how you manage to get them to join your webinar, to sign up for your lead magnet, to sign up for your challenge. And then with your story is how you're going to relate with them and really make them understand that you have the solution to their problems. All right, so think about how many stories can you tell when you're selling your products. And it's not about the selling part, it's about the emotional connection that you're having with your audience and how you can relate to them. That's how you sell. That's how your messaging becomes so powerful that people are not going to doubt to put their credit card and buy your products. Okay. Now, the third step is going to be your offer. We already hooked them. We already told their stories. They already know that you have the solution to their problems because you told amazing stories. Now, the third part is the offer. Okay. What are you offering to your audience that it is such an irresistible offer that they cannot say no, right? Your offer needs to be built not just like, hey, I have a 10-month coaching program. That is not going to sell. When you build your stack for your offer, you need to think about all the false beliefs that your audience has and give them all of those solutions that will break the false beliefs, right? So for example, when I did that presentation, I know that a lot of the people in my audience, one of their greatest false beliefs was, I don't have any technical knowledge to go and do things online. So number one thing that I was giving them was a step-by-step course on how to build funnels and how to become a full-blown funnel builder from A to C, right? So that was the first thing. Now, the second false belief was, traveling is so expensive. Like, I don't know how to travel without spending thousands and thousands of dollars. Then one of the bonuses that I gave them was how to travel without paying anything for accommodation whatsoever. So I gave them a bonus on house sitting, something that I did back when I was traveling before the pandemic, right? And then one of the other false beliefs was like, I have no idea how to get clients online. So another thing that I gave them was a full-blown course on how to get clients for your funnel building services. So when you build your offer, make sure that your stack is built up in a way that you're breaking all of your audience false beliefs, and you're building it so well that it's so irresistible. It's so irresistible. And always have a risk reversal, right? So you have a 14-day free trial, or if you don't like it, you can get your money back, something like that, that it makes your offer so irresistible that people will straight away buy your products. All right. So let me know in the comments what your messaging is and how you are connecting emotionally with your audience, so that your messaging is so well created that when you make the sale, everybody will say, yes, shut up and take my money. All right, guys, that is it for today on the Cold to Soul Machine Show. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and make sure to tune in every Tuesday and Friday at 11 Eastern Time for another episode of the Cold to Soul Machine Show. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.